Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most underrated but powerful ideas in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, organized planning. Now, if you've ever set a big goal, felt fired up, and then, not followed through, this is the concept that explains why. It's one thing to have desire, Hill calls that the starting point of all achievement, but it's another thing entirely to take that desire and actually do something with it. That's where planning comes in. Hill makes it really clear, dreams and goals don't turn into results on their own. You can't just visualize a better future and expect it to show up. You need a strategy, a step-by-step process, to transform that desire into action, and eventually, into success. Let's start with the idea of desire being the fuel. It's emotional, it's powerful, and it gets you moving. But desire without a plan is like sitting in a race car without a map. You've got all this horsepower, but you don't know where you're going. You end up wasting time, energy, and motivation just spinning your wheels. So how do you turn that desire into a plan? Hill breaks it down into practical steps. The first thing he recommends is getting crystal clear on exactly what you want. Not a vague wish like, I want to be successful, or, I want more money. You need to define your goal in specific terms. For example, I want to earn $100,000 through my online business in the next 12 months, is a much more powerful and useful statement than just saying, I want to be rich. Once you've got that clear goal, the next step is to create a plan to get there. Now, here's the key point, your plan doesn't have to be perfect. Hill actually says that most initial plans will fail. That's not a sign that you should quit, it's a sign that you should adapt. Make a plan based on what you know now, and start executing immediately. As you move forward, you'll learn. You'll see what works, what doesn't, and you'll adjust. A lot of people get stuck in the planning stage because they think everything has to be figured out before they begin. But Hill says the opposite, start now. Start with what you have, where you are, and refine as you go. The worst plan you actually act on is better than the perfect plan you never implement. And here's something else people overlook, planning is not just about what you're going to do, it's about who you're going to do it with. Hill introduces the concept of the mastermind group, which is one of the most powerful tools in the book. This is a small group of people who align with your vision, support your growth, and challenge your thinking. You've probably heard that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Hill was saying that back in 1937, in his own way. Surrounding yourself with the right people can accelerate your growth and help you stay accountable to your goals. Your mastermind group doesn't need to be huge, it can be 2 or 3 people you meet with regularly to share progress, brainstorm ideas, and offer honest feedback. So let's talk about what to do when your plan doesn't work. Because it won't, at least not perfectly. Hill says most people give up after one failure. But here's the mindset shift, failure isn't defeat. It's information. It's feedback. The people who succeed are the ones who keep refining their plan until it works. Think about how inventors work. Thomas Edison didn't fail 1,000 times trying to invent the light bulb, he found 1,000 ways that didn't work. That's the attitude Hill wants you to have. Every time something doesn't go according to plan, you're closer to figuring out what does work. Now, persistence ties directly into planning. Hill dedicates an entire section to persistence, but it starts right here with your plan. If you're not willing to stick to your plan and adapt it as you go, your desire will fade. But if you expect some trial and error, and you're ready to pivot instead of quit, you're setting yourself up for long-term success. Let's also be real, most of us don't fail because we didn't have the skills or the opportunity. We fail because we never got organized. We never took our goals seriously enough to map them out and take consistent action. We procrastinate, overthink, or bounce from one idea to another, never sticking with anything long enough to make it work. That's why Hill put such a strong focus on planning. It's the missing link between wanting success and actually achieving it. Planning gives you structure. It gives you direction. It gives you something to measure and improve. Without a plan, your dreams are just wishes. So how do you build an effective plan today? Start with your goal. Make it specific, measurable, and time-bound. Break that goal into smaller steps, monthly, weekly, and even daily actions you can take. Then, start executing immediately. Don't wait until you feel ready. Action creates momentum, and momentum builds confidence. As you work your plan, track your progress. Check in with yourself or your mastermind group regularly. What's working? What's not? What needs to change? The goal here isn't perfection, it's progress. Your plan is a living, breathing thing. It grows with you. And finally, don't forget the mindset piece. Planning isn't just a task, it's a mindset. It's a way of saying, I take my dreams seriously enough to organize them. Most people won't do that. They'll daydream, but they won't sit down and build a strategy. You can separate yourself from the crowd just by being willing to plan and follow through. So if you've been stuck in that space between dreaming and doing, this is your wake-up call. Make your plan. Work your plan. Adjust when you need to. Surround yourself with people who challenge and support you. And keep going, because every great success story started as a plan that someone refused to quit on. Thanks for spending time with me today. If this helped you think differently about your goals, or if you're ready to get more strategic about your success, let me know in the comments. And if you want more breakdowns like this from Think and Grow Rich or other classic books, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. Until next time, keep moving, keep planning, and keep growing.